That's right. That's exactly how everybody who does not have a position is going to be waking up this morning, shooting themselves in the dick. All I can say is, I told you, and kept telling you, and I'm not rubbing it in, but the S&P is down 2%. 2%. And where did it come from? It came from the new fucking get your ass into the hole Nvidia. Deep State, Deep Seek, whatever the fuck they call it, is out over the weekend. The #1 app downloaded on the fucking App Store. And like I shared last week, Nvidia get short alarm is near. It's right here at 148.18. You got 148.18 on Friday. The February 7 145 puts are better than the January 31s for the short-term play. And anybody who recalls the Nvidia event from a couple weeks ago that we played, you got over 500% on that trade. But that's not where it's at. This is why, if you are serious, okay, and I've used this term directly. This isn't a question for you to answer to me. It's a question I ask you to ask yourself. Do you seriously want to succeed at trading? Or do you want to put forth the effort to justify that you gave it a shot?
Cobb, we should walk away from this.
Hold on. If I were to do this, if I even could do it, I'd need a guarantee. How do I know you can deliver?
You don't. But I can. So, do you want to take a leap of faith? Or become an old man, filled with regret, waiting to die alone?
If you're serious, you got to have interactive brokers. Here's Phil. Fantastic fucking Phil. He got the 60-10 puts at the end of last week at 77 cents. He has just sold them, cashed out pre-market on interactive brokers at 33.70, a 4,276% return. The S&P is down 2%. Like I said, I can lay it out like, nice and soft for you. Or I could be straight up in your face, which is what most of you need because you got too much stuff going on in your life. The Dow Jones, the least affected because Nvidia is in the QQQ. And like I've said, everything is inside of the QQQ. Massive gap down overnight and just plummeting right on down here to this 21,246 through the 50-day moving average. And look at this. The ES. You punked me last week, bitch. Now we're getting our fucking revenge. Right on down to the 50-day moving average, which was right around that level that we were expecting it to come down to when we had the inauguration day off, Martin Luther King Day, and we never got it the day after. It's here. Look at over here on your Russell 2000. Ba-bang! Right down to the 100-day moving average. Bink! But it shows up so much nicer when you look over there on your big charts. Here is your IWM. 230, 227. Good night, bitch. Right on down to 225, filling that gap from a week ago, right on down there below 225. Hence the reason why the alert went out and the position was taken on the March 21 IWM 225 puts last week. Look over here on your QQQ. And again, why the 500 puts for March 21 QQQ were taken better than a week ago because my limit order 750 got hit. One gap gone, two gaps gone, and here we are down here at 513. Look over on your regular chart, and as you can see, this looks like an impulsive bearish move to the upside. I continued saying it last week, and what do you fucking have? Nothing but a result. a retracement of almost the entire move to the upside on the QQQ, with QQQ being the engine and Nvidia being the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scam that is inside of the QQQ. Dow Jones, like I showed, not much going on over here. And then, ba-bang, here's your VIX right up into that 19 zone. And as you can see, your wicks up here in 19. Oh, yes, here we go. And we get a move to 21. This right here is the reason why I have given you your spread trade over there for taking the incredible amount of risk over on the SPX, because it is right there. Ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-ba-bam, ba-ba-ba-boom, boom, boom. Incredibly high risk. Buying the 59.90 puts, selling the 59.95 puts. The gap that you have filled, well, now I'm not going to be able to get that because I didn't have it ready. The gap that you have filled is the gap that we expected to be filled early last week, 59.96.66. It is completely filled. So thus, that's why the trade is there. $3 minimum, which is attainable. 250 is not horrible, and I'm giving it a 75% chance that we close above 59.95. Reasons why? Well, like I said, I show you over here, and once again, this is my number one trigger as to why is you've got your VIX up here at 1912. All this damage is taking place with Nvidia, the big piece of shit Ponzi scheme, scumbag, fraudulent, fake accounting, just the biggest scam out there. Your massive move after coming up to 148.18, after having almost touched 148.18 when I put out that alert earlier last week. And here you are, ba-bang, negative on the year, down below the 100-day moving average, and zoom out a little bit larger, and you can see here, there is nothing whatsoever that is bullish about Nvidia. Nothing. And I am waiting for when we get the move on Nvidia down below 117, 115, because the bigger, broader, wider view for Nvidia is the bitch is going minus 100. And after minus 100, we're getting this fake fucking gap filled deck here from February with their AI pump bullshit down here to minus 50% from the all-time highs at 76.44. Very much like, boom, boom, SMCI. Where are we on SMCI? My chart doesn't even show up anymore on SMCI because they did that, reverse split, and I stopped charting it. Here you are, 122.90. You're down here at 33, having dropped down to the 20s. Why? Fraudulent accounting.
When we said that you were coming on the program, our audience had many questions. One of them is about the SEC action taken against your company in August of 2020. The SEC charged Supermicro and the former CFO of the company with what they called widespread accounting violations and some numbers presented by the company. Could you update our audience and your investor base on where that process is and if you've put those concerns behind you?
Oh, yeah, those concerns have been behind us for many years.
AMD, the all-time high coming in last year, very early. When was that? March 2024. And here we are trading on AMD. Ba-boom. Minus 50% from the all-time highs. You own Nvidia and you're holding Nvidia. I wish you the best of luck. For you over there, with Ed in Dallas, you pulled it off, buddy. You sold your meta right at the top. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the market is going to be open. It is going to be open for 5 days. The FOMC meeting, is going to be on Wednesday. And if you have not had yourself already in a position and are starting to look to get into a position, you are making a massive mistake ahead of the FOMC. Have a great morning. I love all of you, and I truly wish you could see yourself through my eyes for what you could actually be
There was another thing that my good friend Jim Chanos, who we spoke to last week down at the conference, he mentioned that, the company Nvidia, and it's detailed in this article also and in this Barclays note, that they've made like 24 VC investments in the Nvidia space, where those companies, they take the capital and then they're buying the GPUs, and the GPUs are serving as collateral for the capital. And we saw that at the turn of the century, right? So this is not going to end particularly well. You can't go up $750 billion in a straight line on not much news, Tim, not much company-specific news, and not think that it has the potential to go the other way just as violently.
How do